at seeing trends, and I'm really good at seeing what's taking place. And I have, I have a swipe file on my desktop. Every time I see an ad that I love, I save it. Every time I see a sales letter I love, I capture and I save it all. And I'm just paying attention, and I'm paying attention to people's comments, and I'm paying attention to the people who are having success, and I'm paying attention to the people who aren't. And I'm just figuring out why is that person having a lot of success, and why are these people not?
Mm.
And that's pretty much it. It's just being observant. That's all there is to it.
I'm gonna see if I can get one last question. I have one last question for you, sir.
You bet.
That's it. Is there, because you're brilliant at this, do you have a way that my mouse can work and not die right on live TV? There we go. So when you're starting to build this out, and this may be already a resource or a program that you already have that you can resource people to, but like when we work together, I take your headlines, I take your offer, I copy and paste that into my ads. You write some ads that you spend time with. Do you have a frame or a reference when it comes to building? I know this is a longer question you cannot answer
sure.
in just a couple of minutes, but any resources? Where do people go next? Because everything we talked about is great, but what the heck's the frame to help get it done?
For me, I've internalized it to this point over 15 years. It just comes out of me. But when you're just getting started, the most valuable thing that you can do is have that swipe file. So I use a program called Snagit to capture images off the screen, or I use something called, if there's a Chrome extension. I made a YouTube video about this. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's a little video about all of these tools and how I capture everything. It is called full page screen capture. If you just go to Google Chrome, extensions or add-ons, full page screen capture, and it's just a little itty bitty button you can press on a web page. And what's really frustrating is previously using Snagit, you could only snag like what you can see on your screen. But this capture page will go through and scroll down and capture an entire 20-page sales letter. And
that's
so,
on Snagit?
No, that's a free Google Chrome plugin called Full Page Screen Capture.
Ooh, that's great.
So it's completely free, but I will go through if I see, anyone's stuff that's working, anything Frank puts out, or Marie Folio, or Ramit Sethi, or anybody that I know their stuff is really killing it. I just go to their sales letter, hit one button, boom, and I've got an entire catalog of everybody's sales letters. And then what I'll do from a look, and one, you want to go through and read through those. If you're sitting down to start any kind of copywriting, read through those, and it's instantly going to give you ideas just like that. It's the biggest shortcut you could possibly get. But also from a visual perspective, it comes in handy, because when I'm talking to my tech guys or a web page designer, I can just say, hey, here it is, take my Google Doc, and I want it to look like this look and feel, right? Because they're going to be like, well, what do you want it to look like? And it's so much easier if you just say, make it look like this, instead of trying to verbally communicate what you want. That's the single biggest shortcut to success. But for me, I'm always thinking about, I put myself in my prospect shoes. What are they thinking about right now? What are they frustrated with right now? What do they really want? How can I just help them cut through the chase and give them exactly what they need? How can I say it in a way that will differentiate me from every other person out there? How am I dressed? What's the tone of my voice? Literally from a tone voice, you're going to have more perceived authority. If you have a lower, more confident tone rather than a sheepish, higher tone. And I'm just aware of those things when I'm recording my videos for my capture pages. If I don't deliver a line with that kind of authority, because maybe I'm getting tired and I've been recording for an hour, I'll stop it and I'll redo it again, right? Because that nonverbal communication is even more powerful than what you're saying. The body language, are your shoulders down and rolled front? Are they up and back, right? All of that stuff are things that you need to take into consideration. And the only way you could get at that is just doing it. But that's the attention to the level of detail that I go into. You talk to my tech guy, Mike, I'd drive him crazy, because I'm like, that's one pixel off. that period's missing. That letter needs to be capitalized. That image needs to be swapped. We need to do this down to a pixel. And I don't make it perfect to the point where, hey, we're not going to ship if it's not perfect. If we hit that deadline, we just ship it. We throw it up there. But then even while it's live, we're constantly going to make those little adjustments and improve it. There's stuff right now on our sales page that's driving me crazy that we need to go in and change and update and fix. But it's that attention to detail that sets things apart. But I think if I could sum it up in one single final statement here, the secret is putting yourself in your prospect's shoes, feeling how they currently feel, and then how do they want to feel, and then how can you be the person that helps bridge them from A to B, that state to that state. And that's all I think about.
It's great. Well, I appreciate your time going over all this. Like I said, I had some selfish questions in here.
Yeah.
I knew they could help frame it for other people as well, too, that I've always been really curious. And then last part, just to wrap it up, everybody, just to let you know, as you're watching this, depending if you're watching live or on the replay, one of the things that Mike and I have been working on for 2020 is to set up some workshops that it's actually kind of interesting the way that we're going to do this. It's essentially going to be 2 days. It'll be here in Austin, Texas. We'll do our first one coming towards the end of April. We're still working on some of those details, but this isn't like 300 or 400 people or 200 people or 100. We're thinking maybe 30 or 35, and that's just about it. So if you're a business that's really in that position where you already have a product, you're already selling your product, and you're looking at scaling, you just want to understand those fundamentals, especially when Mike can walk in the room and just kind of look at your offer for just a little bit, give a little insight. It's one of those events that can really make a big difference. If you're interested in this, is we don't have any big sales pages or sales lines. If you're interested in improving your business and moving that business up, and you feel like you fit in that category, we'll throw a link in here in a little bit if you'd like to set up time with Nick. We can give you the details on what that is exactly. Again, we're just in the planning stages. It's only going to be 35 people, but
yeah, the whole goal is to help make sure you have everything set up correctly the first time. And again, this goes back to that fundamental piece where I'm reviewing customers' websites and funnels all the time. I've been doing a lot of coaching calls recently. And it's, a lot of them are making sales despite themselves. And I'm like, man, if we just fix this, you would 10x your business.
A little bit.
And so the whole goal is like, all right, 90% of people who are pursuing this, online sales business type deal do not have the fundamentals in place yet. And that's why you're not getting the results that you want. And so let's do 2 days of fundamentals. I'll do an entire day of fundamentals when it comes to creating a funnel that converts, copywriting, getting your message right. And then you're going to do an entire day of traffic. And so that's going to be the concept for it. And it really is going to be for beginners, people who are, from $0 to $50,000 a month is really who this is designed to be for. So I think that'll be a massive jumpstart for folks who are working hard, but not getting the results that they want yet. And they're missing a piece and they just don't know what that piece is. We'll be able to show you within a couple of minutes. So, looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. We're going to start the first one in April. It's going to be super exciting.
Absolutely. So if you have any questions, like I said, we'll just put a link in here. Mike, I appreciate you. Everyone else, stick around. If you're watching this live or the replay, stick around. I got a bunch of other content for you. So Mike, enjoy your Saturday.
Awesome, guys.
Thank you very much.
You bet. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Absolutely. Nicholas, if you could help me do a favor for me here real quick. By the way, you may notice this is not a picture of Nicholas over here. Nick and I used to have a third business partner. It was my good friend named Todd Makachik. And, I just like to use that picture because sometimes when I speak on stage, people will find that picture and then put it on stage picture before I go on or whatever, which is totally fine as well, too. So, Nick, I need your help for just a couple of moments, sir, and I want to dive into this with other people's. Number one is sun's a little bright outside, which is great. Would you mind throwing up that last poll for me? And the poll's going to talk, I guess it's just the third remaining one, which this one's going to be about what helps you implement more than anything else. All right. So what I'm really curious here, now we've gone over the interview with Mike. There's some additional insight that I want to go over here in just a little bit. I want to show you some over-the-shoulder videos, but I'm really curious for the people that we have listening right now and watching right now is, again, if you're seeing the replay, you're not going to see this poll, but I'm really curious, what helps you implement more than anything else? So what types of trainings help you to start to implement the belt method? So Mike's giving you a bunch of ideas now. We're going to get an implementation here in a minute, But as I'm going through implementation, I have some presentations. I have some watch me work sessions. So what helps you more? Watch me work, which I will log into my account, show you what we're doing right now, give you some ideas right now. Is it the Belt Method map and workbook? You know, Nick created a beautiful map and a workbook to go step by step. Does it help you more to implement if you have 2 live calls a week? Is it the 10-week overall training we put together, the community? My feelings aren't going to be hurt because you've already invested money with us. But I'm really kind of curious, what can we do to help you implement? As you may know, is we only have open enrollment for the public at certain times, or if we do promotional events like what we did with Mike. So what happens is you came in as a group. As we work with the group, it's really critical that we understand these questions right here and these answers. So we're making sure that you're implementing. Just piling a whole bunch of people into a group to try to help solve their problem and then not solve their problem and just take their money, I think is unethical. And as some of my great marketing friends like to say, we just want to sleep at night. So we want to make sure that you are implementing, that you're happy, and we're seeing lots of success stories. So I'll leave this up for just another second. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got for answers. All right, so the Watch Me Work and the Belt Method, great. So the 10-week workshop is, nobody had voted on that yet, which is actually kind of interesting because inside the group, we've really found, of course, the 10-week workshop gives a backbone for what we're doing. But a lot of people have said, hey, this Watch Me Work has really helped out a lot. So I want to jump into that in a couple of minutes. Now, I want to, thank you very much for that, Nick. I want to dive back into the presentation here with just a little bit different frame. And what I mean by that, let me pull up my screen. You can't see this right now, but where is it at? Here we go. All right. So sorry, I'm having a little technical error on my side that you can't see. Okay, here we go. Now, let's dive into this for just a moment, for just a little bit of a reminder. I'm going to turn off my camera as I walk around here. So what I want to take a look at this is just a little bit different frame with Mike. Now, everything that Mike just trained on and went over, by the way, quick side note, because he's not here and I can talk about him now, like he's not here. One of the things about Mike is I learned this just by listening, and I hope you maybe picked up the same thing as I wanted to make sure I really point this out, is Mike's extremely meticulous on the way that he plans things. Nick and I sometimes will put together stuff, I don't want to say at the last minute, a lot of people would consider it that, but we've had years of training of doing exactly that. But what we can do is we don't mind putting together a training like this on a Saturday to really help walk through. But notice what Mike said about the 3-day event. The 2-day event we're going to have. He's going to spend months on the presentation, thinking through the presentation. He takes months before he launches offers. Now, Nick and I like to get stuff out there really quick, really fast. And there's a lot of times, I don't want to say we shoot from the hip because we have a rhyme or reason behind the stuff that we do. But you're going to hear this reinforced overall with Mike and with Ron Lynch when you dive into those bonus trainings. There is all preparation. And when I say all preparation, I mean, Mike's done $60 million in his 4 or 5 companies. Ron Lynch is responsible for over $3 billion. There is not any stand-up impromptu, hey, let's check this out. There's a lot of planning that goes into it. So one of the bonus trainings I highly recommend for you to check out is Ron Lynch, which really goes into this. Also, check out Patty Dominguez. So Patty Dominguez had worked for a Fortune 5 company. I mean, some pretty large companies she's consulted on. And she shows you how to position different things in the market. To be specific, she actually talks about a cracker and how they have 4 different positions for a cracker, which is kind of interesting. You kind of think about what's it like. I mean,